Excellent. So first off, let me go ahead and I'll just go ahead and share my screen. So my name is Don Taylor. I'm the social media chair for District 60. Let me grab this up here. All right, and just make sure, can you all see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Now let me try this here, because sometimes how about in presentation mode? Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So the social media chair for District 60. So just a little bit about me, because I am still new-ish to our District 60 and Toastmasters. I was born just across the lake in Cleveland, Ohio. So I am an American, my apologies. I did always have to put that I did go to Florida A&M and Georgia Tech for graduate school. I am based in Houston, Texas, and in Baku, Azerbaijan, where actually I currently am. So kind of split between both places. I've been with Toastmasters for about a year and a half, and I am a member of the illustrious Ebony Toastmasters Club, based in, of course, Toronto. And then as far as career-wise, boring stuff, project manager, engineering management for about 20 years in the oil and gas business. So just a quick commercial about the social media team, our overall strategy, what we're doing, why we're here. We're all about helping our various clubs promote themselves. We're looking at direct club engagement. And one of the big things that we are doing is what we're here for today is our workshops. Workshops on Facebook, workshops on Twitter, LinkedIn. We'll do one on live streaming. And I'm sure there's going to be others down the line as well. Things that we can help our various clubs with so that they can learn how to use these tools that are out there to actually promote the clubs, grow membership, interact and engage with membership. And as I said, live stream, on-demand meetings. We'll have a workshop for that later, I think in a couple of weeks. And then always the commercial where we need help. We will be putting out some posts. We can always use some extra hands for help with workshops. In addition, we have the social media platforms. I would love to have some help just posting and interacting and engaging out there. So we can always use the helping hand. Okay, so actually, I'm not gonna show that. Okay, so let me ask you, I know you all know perhaps, but tell me what is Twitter to you? Twitter. What do you think Twitter is? Anyone just jump in?
It's a social media tool that persons use to engage with each other. Now it reminds me of a little bird.
Indeed.
Indeed, yes. And it just seems to be what remind me of Tweety, the little bird. And it's a little bit noisy and a little bit of a troublemaker at times.
Oh yeah. You're going right to the controversy. I love it. Yes. All right.
So that's always my first impression of Twitter.
All right. And Elton?
So my A impression of Twitter is a way of being able to send short messages along with images and or video, and you're able to tweet. That's the initial send, and then you can retweet them to various other people. But the difference, like between Twitter and Facebook, you can have huge long messages, but in Twitter, I think it's like maybe what 270 characters or 60 characters, something like that. So this is why I think they call it tweet, because that's about all you can do in terms of communicating.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're both correct. It is an online, I think of it as news, almost online news and social media site where it's just a pure communication. As Vashti said, it is a place that is very open. And as Elton said, it is all about these short messages that are called tweets. Almost like a little bird, just a little blurb. Nothing too long. You're not going to write a whole book or a whole passage here. It is actually 280 characters or less now. It used to be the famous 140 characters some years ago when it first started. And I believe many websites copied that formula, 140 characters or less. It did eventually open it up to 280 characters. There are 300 million active users on Twitter at this point in time. So they anticipate that this will grow. Now, again, compared to Facebook, there's about a bit over 1 billion people on Facebook. But with Twitter, the big push or the big advantage for Twitter is that it is an open forum. It's almost like standing in the public square back in the day and just yelling out something. It's just saying something, and anyone that hears it can hear it. Anyone that there's nothing really stopping you from hearing something or seeing a tweet. And the beauty of it is that you do not necessarily have to follow or be a member of a particular page or group or organization to actually engage fully with almost any other user on Twitter, unless they block you. So in all reality, there's nothing stopping me and Vice President Kamala Harris from having a back and forth tweet discussion about what's going on in Ukraine right now. There's nothing stopping that. And we don't follow each other. Well, maybe I follow her. I doubt she follows me. And then one of the benefits of Twitter, it is completely free. Anyone can join, and it's actually fairly easy to join, which we'll go over here. So a little bit of why it's important. So Twitter users send out lots of useful content. I mean, in all reality, that's the true value. Yes, there's plenty of people. We talk about sports. You can talk about what you have for breakfast, food, tweets are a big deal, but it's really about sending content out. So what you'll actually find is most companies, clubs, and organizations will have Twitter accounts as well as Facebook accounts. They'll almost always have LinkedIn accounts, and they'll actually have their regular company websites. And what you'll see if you follow, let's say, a corporation, Berkshire Hathaway or IBM or Tesla or BP, any of these organizations, any public release or anything like that, they'll actually tweet about it in the short form and then have the link to the actual public release or article about some new initiative that they're pushing. It's to the point now that for many organizations, if you do not have those standard 3 or 4 social media accounts, it's almost like not having a phone number back when all we had were the old yellow pages. And I'm sorry, was it yellow pages in Canada like it was in America? Okay, I want to make sure gotta get my diversity and inclusion points. Excellent, thank you. All right, so with Twitter, it's important you can provide a stream of very quick updates to friends, families, scholars, journalists, various experts, and so forth. It's great for marketing, for celebrities, and if you will, normal people. And then the beauty of that is you can establish and promote your brand in your way to an actual global audience. And again, I'll keep saying again, it is free. You don't have to pay for this. So any questions about why it's important or what it is before we get into a little bit of the how? Excellent. Okay, so now that we're all firmly convinced that this is something we want to do, so how can you get set up for the club, for your particular Toastmasters club or organization? So basically, it's actually fairly straightforward. They try to make it a very low barrier to entry here. You open the website, twitter.com, and I will go to that now. I happen to have it already open. All right, so you'll open this website. It's just twitter.com. I've logged out. That's why hence all this log out stuff here, as I have like 2 or 3 different accounts. Okay, so you'll have the options to join Twitter today. Let me move you guys in the corner. Join today. You can sign up with your Google Mail account, with your Apple accounts, if that's what you have, or you can sign up with your phone number or your email. So for your clubs, I'm going to recommend that you sign up with your email. And I highly recommend your club has a club email of some sort. So if it's the XYZ Toastmasters Club at gmail.com. You can actually do this with a personal email from one of your members, let's say your social media chair or the president or a particular member. The concern is it's that account is linked to that email. And so if that person inevitably does, maybe leaves the clubs or moves or changes location, what have you, you may have some difficulty getting all the verification emails back and getting back into the account. So what we have is you sign up with your phone or email. So you put your name in. Let's go on and you can put your club name in here. So you'll actually have your phone number. So you see all my phone numbers here, and it will check if it's a real phone number. So I'm just going to put a bunch of random numbers in. I don't know if this is a real one or not. Okay. So let's see. So this actually was able to confirm that's not a real number here. Let's do a number based out here. Okay, that is not a real number. That's from the a song. So it is looking for the phone number there. So you can actually, if you do not have an email address and you really would prefer your phone number, you can do that. The other option is your email address. So yeah, my email address here, if you wanted to contact me, of course, I have a Twitter account, so it's going to tell you if it's already taken. So if it turns out you've got your club email in here, and it gives you this red box that's already taken, that means you actually already have an account somewhere, and you just need to recover the password. But let's just throw in an email address here. And so actually, I'll go with the phone number, and I'll just pick this number here just to have something. You do need to put your date of birth in. I'll show you. You guys can tell how old I am. I don't mind. I'm not ashamed of being in my middle ages at this point. You go to next, and you start to customize it. You're already basically almost there. It does personalize your experience. It can look at your web history and all of that, as far as different accounts that you want to follow and so forth. I know for my personal accounts, it recommends things I may want to see. I'll leave that on for now. You can definitely untick that. We have that information there. We can sign up. Now, I'm not going to go this far here, but you verify your phone number or email address. It will send you a verification. It'll send you the text or the email. You then just go into your email and verify the account, and you're just about there. So any questions at this point? Okay, good to go. Okay, from here, let's go back to the presentation. So you have now confirmed your verification. You're actually in there, you'll have to actually create a username when you actually do that. So you add your name, but you actually have your username. Now this one's important, and I didn't go that far on here to show that, but your username will be what they call your handle, which is a more slang term for what your actual Twitter account will be called. So much like baking the cake and the cooking shows, I'll swap over to an account that's already in existence at this point. So this is our D60 Toastmasters Club account here. So we have, so if we go to profile, you'll actually see D60 Toastmasters here. And actually under here, you'll see our actual handle at D60 Toastmasters. It has to be one word. That's very important. And that will be how people, that is actually the actual name that people will put in with the at symbol when they want to communicate directly with you, with your particular organization. Okay, so from there, now we've got the account, we have the username set up. So now what? So you want to, because we're talking about organizations here, we do want to have a little bit of a professional feel to it. This is not necessarily a pure social account where we're talking sports and whatever else. So you'll see the steps on the side here, and I'll make sure we'll find a way to get some of this slide out here. You'll see these various steps. First, you select the profile picture and header photo. Let's go back. So I could even edit here. I'll just do this just so you can see it. I'm not going to change it, Elton, I promise. Okay, so we have our picture here. If I wanted to, I could change this photo. I think quite a few clubs, from what I see, they will go ahead and use something like a Toastmasters International logo. That way it stays on brand, right? It helps people recognize it, they'll see it and know automatically it's right to Toastmasters. A question, Elton, however, I don't know, for this District 60 down here, is that a picture some of our members can get their hands on? Or is that something we maybe customized?
No, that can be found on the district, on the Toastmasters International website.
Excellent.
And if you go to the upper right-hand corner of the Toastmasters, which is toastmasters.org, and when it comes up, if you go to the upper right-hand corner, there's a search box. And if you just type in, I think if you just type in logo, then all that stuff kind of comes up.
Okay, great. So maybe when we, if we have time at the end, we can show everyone a little bit of how to get some of this more on brand logos and things of that nature. And okay, here we are. So when you all start your actual account, this will be blank. And now we're back. Well, what happened there? Okay, I'm not sure what happened there. I'm probably going too fast. There we go. All right, so when you all start your account, that part will be blank. It'll be just basically maybe some bluish white empty spaces there. So you'll go ahead and you can we highly recommend you upload a photo, something with Toastmasters, one of the accepted brands would be preferable. And then there's a cover photo as well, and you can see it right above here. When people go to your account, a nice big splash is what I like to call that. So this cover photo, that is a chance a little bit more about what your organization is. You see what we have here, TorontoToastmasters.com, and we talk a little bit more about that. So when people actually click on your profile, they'll actually see this as well. So if they're not sure what this is all about, it's a very quick way that they can see what this organization, what this organization has to offer. From there, you'll have your name, but you can change this. So this is not the same as your handle. This is just the name. So I can even change it right now. I'm not. You could change it to something else if you did want to, if you wanted to maybe expand or change the name of the overall account that people will see. Again, a bio. So if you want to borrow from ours, that's fine. But a little bit about your particular club. Maybe you only have 160 characters in this case, so brevity is key. But you will want to have a little something that talks about a little bit about the organization, and what would someone that potentially doesn't know anything about the organization, what is something that could maybe help pull them in. The location where you physically are, I imagine most of us will have Toronto there. And then if you do have a website for your club, which will be fantastic if you already do, go ahead and put the website link here as well. So we don't necessarily have a date of birth in this case, because we're just the clubs. If it's a personal account, you could put that in as well. So I'm going to X and not save, and you'll see all of this is here. So this is pretty much what people see with our profile, this portion up here. Let me make sure I've got it. All right, so description, and then once you have that all set up, in all reality, you're off to the races. So you can actually, what Twitter will generally do is when you first start your profile, it'll give you something like this. Everyone's interface is different. It depends, but maybe it's to the left of the screen, maybe it's to the right of the screen, but it'll give you some people you may want to follow. So there's a Toastmasters club here, Co-op City Toastmasters. I'm not sure about who they are, and then there are promoted accounts as well. So that means that is this particular person. You can see kind of where I physically am in the world, that I'm getting some of these accounts, but they are promoted. That means that this particular account paid to have this option come up for me. So between whatever the algorithm is in this D60 account and where I physically am, it'll ask me to, I'm not sure what's happening there. It'll recommend some accounts to follow. All right, and then once you've done that, you're actually set up. It's always good to send the first tweet, and you can pin if you want it to show up first. So when we have these tweets, I don't know why I'm getting an error now. Let's go back to the account. Let's see what happened here. Oh, I'm getting an error suddenly. Let's go to explore. Am I getting a... I'm going to take the risk and press refresh, see what happens here. Probably because I'm logged in twice. Cancel. Oops, let's move you guys out of the way a second. Let's see what happened here. Oh no, it's going to give me 1 second. Let me just make sure I'm back on here. Sorry about that. I think I got kicked out for some reason, of course, during this, of course. So we're at D60. Just give me one moment. We may do a slight edit here or not. Let me just keep it more real. Not that I don't trust you, but everyone on the call, but I'll just put the password in off screen. All right. And we're back on. So let's put you back up here. All right, it's still refreshing. Okay, so here we are. So basically, when you go back to your profile, it just wants to work this time. There we go. All right, now we're doing better. Okay, so you basically have the various tweets. In this case, this is our D60 page. So the last tweet we had was 15 hours ago. About the particular New Year's resolution versus procrastination, always very important. So when you press a tweet, all you have to do is press this tweet button here and type in whatever you want. Welcome to the District 60 Toastmasters page. And we can put pictures if we wanted to. We can put animated pictures. If there's any type of polling, we wanted to put that. Those are some various things. If we have time, we can look at that. Emojis that everyone likes. If I wanted to pin where I physically am, because I'm the one that's logged in. If I wanted to tag where I am, I could do that. And then I haven't worked with schedule, but I believe you can put a calendar date as well. And then the beauty is, let's see here. There you go. We don't need to add another tweet. And then you can just press tweet. And now that tweet is out to the world. And if I really wanted to, I can pin this to this. So it's usually advisable to go ahead and pin the first tweet to your profile. And as you can see here, I'm not going to pin this one, but just so you can see, this will appear at the top of your profile and replace any previously pinned tweet. So it's usually one tweet is generally good to pin to your profile. And that, again, is just a little bit more about your organization. Typically is what that one is. And I have a source here as well, as far as what the, as far as where I got this particular sheet from. So before I go into some more features, are there any questions at this point from anyone? Okay. All right, so some nuances when it comes to tweeting. So you'll notice here these things that are highlighted in blue on my sheet, on my screen, they're blue. They're with these pound symbols in front of them. They are called hashtags. And for those that don't know, so there's two types of ways you can do a type of tweet, or two types of communication styles. You can with an ampersand, or you can use the hashtag, which is basically a way to communicate or have a much larger communication or a conversation about that, whatever that hashtag is. So you see here, we have a hashtag in our profile, in this case, with communication and leadership. And so because we put leadership in there, if I click on leadership as a hashtag, you'll see I've got the leadership search here, and I'm just going to get probably a host of different tweets that are going to show, that everyone else has hashtag leadership. So I got somebody called Victoria Howard, the royal expert, historian on probably the British Crown or something. And she tweeted, she did whatever this tweet is and put the hashtag leadership. So I saw that. The next person, and it can get interesting. You can talk about people. This one's talking about careers, their hashtag leadership, and on and on and on. So you can put any hashtag you want. You can put in a search engine up here. And my computer's being slow right now. So you can put in a search engine, or whatever tweet you have, you can put a hashtag there also. And so you can see the hashtags here. They're all, you can just, there's endless amount, right? So it is basically advisable when you are sending a tweet out. You can put the hashtag there, and that links that conversation to everything that you're seeing on the screen. The other type of discard. The other type of tweet we can do is if you wanted to tweet a particular organization. Let's just pick somebody. I'm getting some promoted stuff here. All right, so here we go. Waterfront BIA. Connected waterfront community. Okay, great. I'm not going to tweet, let's say. So if I wanted to tweet something to them, I can just type in, you see their username here, there's @waterfrontBIA. All I would have to do is just put in tweet @waterfront. It's probably going to start automatically filling it out because I already follow them, or we follow them. And you click on them. And boom, we have @waterfront. And I may want to say, hey, come to the Ebony Toastmasters meeting on Monday nights at 7 p.m. We would love to have you. I'm not going to send this. To have you. And then maybe a hashtag. So maybe someone give me an idea. I'm not going to tweet it, but since I'm going directly, but anybody have a particular hashtag you think would be good for something like this? Any recommendations?
Hashtag Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You can
Any
use
other
hashtag
hashtags?
leadership, hashtag speak up,
Mm-hmm.
hashtag be bold, speak boldly.
I gotta speak up here. And say that one more time, Vashti.
Hey, what are you asking me to say? Which, oh, the
There's
other
another
one?
hashtag I have to speak
Oh,
up.
yeah, speak up, and then you have speak boldly or speak confidently.
Excellent. So matter of fact, I'm gonna take off the waterfront, guys, because I'll go ahead and tweet that though. And so with the Ebony Toastmasters, again, I just happen to have my own club, the club I'm a part of. So we have all of these. So now we have the Ebony Toastmasters meetings, Monday nights at 7 p.m. EST. And then is there something like that's maybe a Toronto kind of hashtag, like, hey, go Toronto or something y'all always have in the Toronto thing that would let you know
With the true north.
the true north?
Yeah, you have boldly, it's boldly.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
That's okay. With you're typing fast, so it
Yeah.
happens.
And then what is it? The true north. Oh, I like that. And then I'm gonna take it a step further, because I happen to know Ebony Toastmasters has a meetup account. I hope you all have that as well, or something similar. So we're going to copy that. And we're going to press space, and I'm going to copy the meetup account. And look what happened. When you put a link in the account, if your computer is not slow like mine is today, it'll actually give a bit of almost like a thumbnail for that particular link, and which usually should be the main picture of the link of the actual link itself. Yes. So the picture, the main link itself, the machine is typically smart enough to know to go ahead and put that picture as the thumbnail picture, as well as the overall link there. Okay. And then, so we got, hey, come to the Ebony Toastmasters meeting on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. We would love to have you. We have some hashtags here. So when people click on speak up, if they'll see this tweet, speak boldly, they'll see the tweet, etc. Anyone from the true north will see that. And they'll see the link for Ebony Toastmasters. So with this particular tweet, just know this is not just going to, this is going to literally the world. So if I wanted to, I could send it to, if I put an @ or for a particular account, yes, I could put, at the Toronto Maple Leafs or something, but it will still go out to the whole planet essentially. Now, note there are a couple things.
Oh, sorry, Don, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna, you know what? What about speech coach? I think you should add the speech coach right there.
Oh, sure.
Yes, and get the speech coach.
Mm-hmm.
And speech evaluator.
Oops. I keep wanting to do evaluator.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Now there's a little, if you guys can see this, there's a little bitty wheel down here.
Yeah.
That's a real cool way to see how many more characters you have left. When you close the circle, you're out of characters. So if I keep typing, I want to say a bit more, put more spaces in. I'm going to run out of characters. So you only can do 280. That includes the link as well. So let's see here. I do have the option if I only want certain people to reply. If you do want to do that, you can click on that. I'm not going to in this case. and then you press tweet, and boom, there you go. Now, if I go back to our profile, so there's a few ways I can see that tweet again. I go back to our profile, and there it is, our homepage, and there's our own tweet. If I go to our profile, I'll see it there also. Okay, and so a couple other items that are really great for Twitter, just for engagement. So if for some reason, let's just keep picking on a few things here. Let's just grab somebody. So if we have, is there anybody, again, it's just anybody that's interesting. Okay, I may not do this, but for this startup here in Toronto, if for some reason, yes, it's Toronto startup ecosystem. So if I wanted to, if we really like this particular post, the way we can help them out, help this startup here Toronto organization, is press this little button down here. I'm not going to do it. It's called Retweet. Let me scroll up a little more so you can see it. If you retweet something, I'm gonna hide that. That's gonna. I'm not gonna mute. It's just too much movement. The leaves. So if you retweet something here, that means you tweet exactly what that. You just tweet on your account what that account actually said. You just literally say exactly what they said, but it's with your account. So that way the followers that you have that are more likely to see your tweet, they will see that exact same tweet. And the idea is that you can retweet other accounts, and that basically helps promote what they're doing. And then presumably they can retweet your stuff, and that can promote what you're doing. You also have the option, if you press the little chat box here, I can reply to their tweet. And so I'm not going to, but if a startup here Toronto says global clean tech, blah, 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 13 companies made the list, we would love to have those companies. Have those companies come to speak at one of our Toastmasters meetings. Something like this. I'm not going to, but if I press reply, then I'm basically having a conversation in public with this particular account here. And again, it's promotion. So every time you have that interaction, your followers see it, their followers see it, as well as anyone that happens to be just looking at the time. And so it's a way that the more engagement you have, the more likely you're going to actually have more people that may follow you back, and they'll help kind of cross promote what you have going on. And I'm going to discard that, just didn't want to do that particular one. So I did mention followers. I don't think I talked about that a bit. And so just so you know, if you want to follow someone, means that in your account, there are various accounts that you do want to see whatever they're tweeting, you want to see it. Yes, you can search anything in all reality, but if we wanted to see Ontario at Work, the Ministry of Labor, Training and Skills Development, if we wanted to see their tweets, whenever they tweet something, we could follow them. Let's press follow for now. And then if we highlight, so now you can see we're following them. A blue check mark means they're verified, which means it's a large enough account that they actually confirm that you're real, that you're a significant person or organization. So if we get to that level, that would be great. But basically, it's just a way it's just a verified account. It's not a fake account. And then so that will allow you to follow them. And then of course we have some followers as well on our side. If I can see them, there we go. We go to our profile and we have 374 different accounts that follow us. Now, I don't know who these people are, so because you never know, but these are the various accounts that follow us. So everything we tweet, it will show up in their feed, essentially. They'll see our tweets. And some of these people we follow back, And you can see that, there's other Toastmasters organizations here. There's some Canadian Association of Professional Speakers here, for example. Seems like we have a lot in common, right? So those are folks that we want to follow. I think there's some various Toastmasters members as well that follow us. So the idea is the more followers you gain, the more likely they'll see what you're posting about, what you're tweeting about, and you can largely take it from there. And you just keep, the more engagement you have and the more you use it, the more you use the hashtags, the more you tweet, the more you retweet and have conversations with others, that basically just increases your profile and expands and promotes your club. All right, so a couple other things, because actually coming up on time, that's good. So when it comes to, now that we've got the bases out of the way, I did talk about a little bit of the now what. You can promote your club meetings, events. A lot of people like to highlight members. If there's a certain thing the member has done, maybe they've won a competition and you want to say, hey, congratulations, Elton, for winning the world title. And here's a tweet for you that we're going to send out to our followers, and maybe tag some different accounts or people that we may think may be interested. Again, to tag an account, you use the @ symbol, and it basically will largely highlight who, if it's a real account or not. You'll see it with the drop downs. And then if you want to link a conversation, use the # or hashtag symbol. Do recommend you follow and engage with other Toastmasters clubs, help each other out. You can follow some of the other clubs in your area, or follow other clubs that you may have been associated or been members with, and just kind of bounce back and forth with each other. Again, we talk about member spotlights, competition results. Open houses are a great thing to promote on your Twitter account. So just things to continue, and I'm sure there's plenty more. So one thing we do want to caution you with, this is social media. I'm sure you all have heard by now. You do have to be careful who you follow and interact with, as well as what you say. We don't want anything that will reflect negatively on your club or Toastmasters as a whole. In all reality, yourselves as individuals. And remember, social media posts last forever. So yes, you can delete a tweet after you've sent it, or a retweet after you've retweeted it. However, it likely, I don't know if those things ever truly go away. And secondly, if someone did want to, they could basically take a picture or print screen or screenshot of the tweet at the time, and then they'll have the evidence that you sent something. So you probably heard in the news, even who you follow could reflect negatively on you, even if you never follow, even if you never retweet or interact with that person. So if you follow someone that has, to say, something racist or sexist or something, the fact that you're following them could look poorly on you. And the same for interaction. And as far as, you're probably thinking, well, but I can't help if someone follows me. What if it turns out it's somebody we don't want associated with us that's following us? I'm just going to pick on someone. I'm not going to save it. We'll pick on this person here. If we really wanted to, all we have to do for any particular account, whether they're following us or even just an account just out there in general, that they're conversing with us, saying something we don't like, not really reflecting properly on the club, all we have to do is, there's probably more than one way, but you click on, you can just highlight, hover over. On my interface, you hover over, you click on the 3 dots, and you'll see the options to mute that person. So not that you don't want to unfollow Ms. Joanna Love Cherry, but we may just not want to hear what I'm assuming she has to say. We can remove that follower, so we don't want this person even following us at all. We can block her. So that's basically, that person cannot mention us. They won't see anything that we do. We won't see anything that they do. We basically will never really interact with each other, even if we're using some of the same hashtags or having some involved in some conversations. They won't see us, we won't see them. And if it's really bad, if it's something that you think is really not correct or not proper, it's racist or misogynistic or just really mean or what have you, you can report the person. I'm not going to report Ms. Joan Love Cherry. I'm sure she's wonderful, but you can report that particular account. And Twitter tries to do a good job of ensuring that they follow up and potentially delete particular accounts if they do have enough negative reports. A very, very famous example is our American former president actually got so many reports and what was considered enough misinformation, they deleted his account. So if they can delete the account of who was at the time a sitting president, I believe they can delete the account of pretty much anyone. So that is a way to help protect yourself. You will, when you protect your club and protect yourself as you're engaging. So it is something, once you set up the account, you don't want to just leave it there. You do want to keep an eye on it, keep looking at it, because in theory, there are a lot of crazies out there, and you do want to make sure that you're keeping up with that. And then lastly, who to follow? Oh, please follow us at D60 Toastmasters. Follow your other club members. Ask your club members in your group, hey, does anyone have a Twitter account that that you'd like us to follow? Again, you may want to take a look at some of their tweets just to be sure, because we all have differing values and views and things. And then any other organizations you may want to interact with. You probably saw it on ours. We follow chambers of commerce. We follow, of course, other social media clubs. We follow other diverse organizations as well. So we actually do get pretty well involved. And I just thought it'd be kind of cool to follow the local sports teams as well. And a lot of people, personal organizations like to do that. They do kind of clog up your timeline, those they tweet a lot. So you may unfollow them. But you'll see here, you can actually see on the screen some of the professional organizations we follow, because we are a part of the community, a member as well. Allison, we love Allison. That we are a member of this community, a member of the professional societies and organizations of Toronto. A lot of people, I'm sure, in the city can owe some of their success to Toastmasters. And so we want to make sure we're interacting as well. So definitely just follow as much as you want. Retweet, post, have a great time with it. It'll be a lot of fun. And in all reality, that is a wrap. I do have a couple of links here. There are some additional things like Twitter Spaces, which basically means you have a conversation and anyone on Twitter can listen in. It's almost another version of live streaming that maybe we may put that into our live streaming workshop, because that's a whole other skill set there. And then setting up a Twitter account also. I have a YouTube video here. If you want to just go somewhere else, just for some more information. This is where I got a lot of my information from, just how to set up your own account. And that person does go ahead and set up the account, clicking all the way through so you can see it. Again, don't get too nervous if the interfaces look a little bit different. Everyone's computer is different. And of course, they're always having fun with the screens themselves. Okay, so I'll pause here. Are there any questions from the room? All right, I got it all in one go. Excellent.
Okay, Don, I think you may have said it, but for the novice who is just going to do it on their own, try for the first time, right? Mm-hmm. What advice would you give him or her?
Sure. Well, I would say watch this video. I would say watch the YouTube videos as well. Just before you get started, just to be sure you've got it figured out. And in all reality, you just, I would say just go ahead and set up the account and go ahead and just have some fun with it. There's no real harm in putting a tweet out there. You can always edit it if you want, or just come over top of it and just write another one. So it's really, go ahead and explore. I think you saw the tweet we did about the hashtag. So right. Basically have some fun with it once you kind of get set up.
Okay. All right. Another one for you. Mm-hmm. How often do you think would be, considering that as public relations of a club, your club could be small, you have your life, you have work life, you have your own personal life, and then you also have to juggle club responsibilities as PR. Now, how often would you recommend that as a club PR we try post?
Sure, very good question. So I would, if you're wanting to get people to your members, I would say probably post around the same frequency as your meetings, even if it's just one post a week, is what I think would at least kind of keep you going. If you let it go to a whole month, there's a lot of things that can happen in a month, and the account, because it doesn't get much interaction, there's not much coming up. So it may just be something that just maybe the day before your meeting, or maybe just after your meeting, whoever's doing that, just go on and type out a quick post. Hey, we just had a great meeting. Or, hey, we're about to have a meeting. Here's our link if you want to be a guest in our club today. Something like that, just to kind of keep it going.
Okay. All right, good.
Mhm. And of course, you can lose yourself in this, be on here all day long if you're so inclined. Yeah.
I don't think so. You see,
I don't
remember,
think I
I put the
us.
situation in front of you.
No, I don't think that's us.
Okay.
I doubt that's who we are. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So, Elton, any questions or anything I didn't quite catch? You're muted. I'm sorry, Elton. Yeah.
Oh, I muted myself. I was just thinking, when you do there has to be I'm assuming there has to be some kind of a balance between the hashtagging and your actual message, right? Because each hashtag, each character counts against that. So how do you determine what hashtags you're going to use based on your content?
Sure. So when I'm doing my content, what I look for is I tend to try to, my own personal social media accounts, I'll try to have some of the same hashtags every time. So I'll have 2 or 3 that I'll always use, and that'll just always be the ones that I'm engaged with. So for instance, the ones that we have currently, we may just say the speak boldly, hashtag speak boldly, hashtag public speaking, something like that. And maybe one other hashtag, hashtag Toastmasters. Something that really helps people understand a little bit about a little bit about the organization a touch by seeing the hashtag. Because yes, if you write one sentence when you have just a flurry of hashtags, it may feel like it gets a little bit lost, the actual original message. So I would say the main thing you want to do is make sure you type out the real message you want first. Like, what do you actually want to say? And then see what hashtags you can put on the back or even in the middle of that. So you may just put that pound symbol in front of a word or two in the regular sentence. That way you don't have the string of hashtags on the back. Similar to our profile, which actually has that currently, has the hashtags are within the message itself. Yeah, so I think, and also just my own style, I like to have a hashtag that's a bit more fun. So what is it? The True North. That may be one that I will probably always forever and now put on the D60 stuff. So no matter what it is, hey, we're going to have a contest here, hashtag contest. We'll have a hashtag speaking contest next week. We're going to win this entire thing, hashtag the True North. And there you go. Something like that. And every time you'll know we're going to put the True North on there. That's just, again, that brand, right? You see the same thing every time, or you see bits and pieces of the same thing every time. And so maybe each club will have maybe a little fun hashtag that they all come up with that they think would be a real succinct way of having a little fun and just having that little bit of a brand that just keeps coming up every time they put some content out there. And then just for those that may not know, those hashtags, they also work for your Facebook accounts and your LinkedIn accounts. Everyone uses the same style, the @ symbol to go to tag a particular account, and the hashtags. It works for TikTok, Instagram, all these different accounts use the exact same style. So you don't even have to even ask, you just go straight to it.
Well, Mr. Taylor, I enjoyed myself. It was quite informative and well presented. Thank you very much.
All right, great. And look, I think Dave got it first time as well. Excellent, excellent, excellent.